200 years ago, Kachwara, a small town in Madhya Pradesh, was literally unknown in British India. At the time, the common man was living in hell. The English East India Company and the Indian Maharajas had joined hands for their mutual benefits. It was the common man who had to take the brunt of these parasitic aliens, to first salute the British rulers, then the Indian Maharajas, and then the local goons. To make life more miserable, there were also dacoits. Ganga Singh was a dacoit. Local tell me they are Maharajas as well as the offers employed by the British government would tremble when there was the most fleeting mention of Ganga Singh. People would fear, feel shiver, run down their spine when Ganga Singh, along with his group, a dacoits riding wildly on horses, shooting bullets aimlessly, would come to pillage their village, along with Kuchwara. Almost 100 other small villages and towns in the radius of 70 kilometers feared him. But life changes for everyone. So it did for Ganga Singh as well. In Kachwara, there was an iron smith named Karim Khan. He lived there with his wife and 4 children, 3 daughters and a son. Life was very tough. Being able to afford 2 square meals was a distant dream for the poor villagers. Karim Khan used to make small ruggers and sword for people. Ganga Singh was an obvious customer. Destiny played a cheeky game. One day, Naazir, the eldest daughter of Karim Khan, accidentally met Ganga Singh at her father's shop. Ganga Singh was awestruck by her radiant beauty. From that day, Ganga Singh started to visit Karim Khan for no particular reason at all. It did not take long for Karim Khan to understand what really was on his mind. He knew there was no one who could stop Ganga Singh, so he did have any other option but to pray for their safety and honor of his daughter and family. Every evening, Ganga was visit Karim Khan's shop, but he won't talk much. Most of the time, he would sit in absolute most meditative silence. His silence was more dangerous and threatening than his ranting could ever be. Karim Khan knew that if Ganga was determined to have Nazir as his, then he was in great trouble. The frightened dacoit was capable to shooting him on any given day and taking her or even all his daughters away for his disreputable harem. The poor again ironsmith started to live in fear, and after several days of hard thinking, he decided to marry Nazir of a suitable boy. After a month, Karim found a worthy boy of Nazir. His name was Rahmat Khan. A carpenter by profession, the date of engagement was fixed. Ganga heard the news and he went to Karim Khan at once. As the dacoit entered the shop, Karim Khan knew that his worst fear was about to be released. He fainted and collapsed right there with his daughter. Nazir right beside him. Nazir knew why her father had gone so pale, and he made in burst of rage. She screamed Abba and slapped Ganga Singh several times, wanting to draw the life out of him. But it was too late. Karim Khan had left his body. Now his family could not do anything but curse Ganga Singh for their misfortunes. Ganga joined his hand and begged for forgiveness. He told Nazir's mother that he had only come there to talk to them. All he had wanted to say that he loved Nazir, that he wanted to marry Nazir. Nazir was in fact witness that he had not said anything Karim Khan at all yet. He desperately wanted to believe him. But Nazir could not be rational when she saw her father dead in front of her. You are not a human, but a devil that feed other death. She spat out of him. This was a terrible jolt for Ganga. Nazir didn't let it rest. There is, and continued. A loving person can die for his love, but he cannot hurt anyone. Ganga Singh removed his turban and placed it gently at the feet of Karim Khan's dead body. He wiped his burned red eyes and left. The gun and blanket he kept on the threshold of Karim Khan's shop were still there. For days, no one heard about him, but news of Ganga Singh disbanding his gang was everywhere. After a few days, a cobbler was mending his shoes outside the village mosque. But no one noticed that he worked there, slept there, would eat there. One day, Naazir and her younger sister went to the market to buy something. On their way home, they went to the cobbler to have Naazir's sandal mended. The cobbler opened her toolbox and offered her a piece of soft cashmere cloth to stand on while he worked on her sandal. Nazir realized that the cloth was brand new, quite like her. He may have just brought it for himself for coming winters, but she stood on it anyway to protect herself from dusty ground. The cobbler started working and Nazir was busy talking to her sister. After a while, her sister noticed drop of water on the sandal. She realized that the cobbler was crying and those drops were tears, but she didn't react. He mended the sandal and extended his hands and put them on Nazir's feet. Only then Nazir realized that the cobbler was none other than Ganga Singh. As she was about to give him money, he declined vehemently. Nazir and her sister was wearing burqas, so she was surprised that Ganga had managed to identify her. How? She thanked him for the work and threw a 1 anna coin to his tool kit. Hardly walked away. Her sister noticed that Ganga had not even looked towards the coin but had interested, grabbed that piece of cloth and looked on a mark made by Nazir's feet with immense love and longing. Then he had hugged it to himself and cried. Day turns to month and Ganga was still working as a cobbler. Many people appreciate his decision to make a fresh start. Many abuse him, humiliate him. He never talked to anyone. No one came to meet him. He never went anywhere. Then one day a traveler came along with a few friends and relatives to Kuchwara. It was Rahmat Khan. It was his engagement with Nazir Khan, which had been postponed by the few months due to the dismiss of Karim Khan. They stayed at Karim Khan's house and the marriage date was fixed for the coming month. Winter arrived and they were ruthless. The nights were getting dark and colder. Ganga Singh was trying to mend his small tent to protect himself from the chilly wind. He noticed two women in burqa coming towards him, their shadow getting bigger and bigger against the light of the huge earthen lamp placed on the high wall of the mosque. It was Nazir. She gave Ganga Singh a hand-knit sweater, and her almond-shaped eyes confessed her feeling for him. No one talked, but the thousand words were exchanged in the single moment. As she went back, Ganga realized that a small piece of paper was hidden inside the sweater. It was the letter from Nazir. This sweater is worn with praise for my Ganga, my love. I breathe for you, and my every heartbeat yearn for you. You change yourself for me, but as per the wishes for my late Abba, I have to marry Rahmat Khan. Forgive me for my decision. It is a tribute to my loving father. I know God bless my Ganga with immense power of he can do anything for me, but give me permission to marry this man. I know my Ganga is very compassionate and will forgive me for this. If you wear this sweater, that I will know that you are with me in spirit at least. Nazir. Next morning, Ganga was mending shoes and he wore the sweater. Nazik crossed his path coming from the mosque and two tears rolled down her cheeks. As she smiled at Ganga, her tears enveloped in seconds just like drops do at the glimpse of the sun. It was the wedding day and the groom arrived with his procession. Now it was time for Nazir to leave for her new house. The dolly was waiting and Nazir stepped into it. Suddenly, sound of crazy yelling, firing of bullets and charging horse filled the air. Everybody was calm. This was very common in the village. Dacoit kept a lookout to loot newlywed as the way were crying, carrying cash and jewelry. But they went straight to Ganga Singh and shoot him down with four bullets fired at point blank range. It was the new chief of dacoits Subedar Reham Singh, an old enemy of Ganga Singh. He threatened everyone with dire consequences if they dared perform the clan ex-dacoit last rites. They left in a second without harming anyone else. But a single scream ended that affair in pin drop silence. Nazir left her body and met Ganga Singh in otherworld. No one noticed Ganga Singh's body. No one touched Ganga Singh's body, but all wept by Nazir's. Nazir's younger sister was the only one with guts in that huge gathering, and she dragged Ganga Singh's body and lay down next to Nazir. She covered their dead bodies with the same blanket that Ganga Singh had left at Karim Khan's threshold and buried them in a single pit. Without taking anyone's help, after a few days, a tiny spring grew in the place where those lovers were buried. Everyone said it was the offspring of Ganga and Nazir, and soon it became a huge tree. It is believed that 4 years after lover would tie a thread around the stem of hue of the tree, praying for the and eternal love like Ganga Singh and Nazir Khan.